Hello everyone and welcome. This is not actually going to be a box opening as it would immediately appear from the box before me, but actually the beginning of a project. This doll has had a couple of owners previously and is needing a little bit of TLC. I have just acquired her and now I'm going to go over some of the work that needs to be done on her. As you can see, she is a Bobo Bee. I believe the sculpt is in Arial, though I do not have the paperwork that says one way or the other. If you'll bear with me just a moment, I'm going to get the box open and hopefully not tip over the camera. Maybe. It really wants to tip over. Okay. And as you can see here, she is already laid out in her little hospital gown, ready for her procedures. She is a very nice sculpt. Does still have a little bit of the makeup from the manufacturer on her for her eyebrows. But as you can see already, there was some work done to her by one of the owners. Looks possibly be in marker. I'm not entirely certain. I'm gonna also show you here she has some smudging on her feet. I was told there was discoloration, but I don't think there's a lot there. It may actually just be that she needs a bit of a cleaning. She does also need to be restrung. She has apparently known a lot of love, and she is very, very noodly and loose. I'm going to take away her box here. Glad to still have that. And show some of what needs to be done. If you look here on her back, someone decided that their fairy should be butterfly tattooed. This also appears to be marker. I am hoping that maybe they used something like Crayola, because that is water soluble. It's intended to be cleaned off. For those who are not familiar with ball jointed dolls, I will let you know right now, a lot of them are anatomically correct, and she is not an exception. So if you have a problem with sneaky bits of dolls, please do look away, because that's a part of somewhat of the work that she needs done. Okay, and here we go. Show it off, lady. And you can see they decorated her nipples and they decorated her belly button as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with doing a cleaning on her. The initial work, I figured the best bet was to go gentle first. So I'm going to start out with just plain water, not from the tap. It actually is bottled water. Our water is not drinkable, and I'm not sure that I would trust some chemicals that they put in drinking water anyway. I'm also going to be using the old standby, the magic eraser. These are a mild abrasive. Usually though, on these dolls it's pretty safe. If you're going to be doing a doll cleaning though, make sure you test an area that is not visible first and see if it's going to cause a problem, especially if you have a doll that is tan skinned or has some funky color, grays, blues, or whatever. While some companies do actually put the coloring into the resin itself, some of them dip dye. And if they dip dye, it will take the color off. Some of the more brilliant colors will also discolor when you're tampering with them a little bit. So I'm going to start out with that smudge on her foot. And move this back so you can actually see a little bit of what I'm doing. And again, forgive the mess. If you've seen my intro, you know this place is a disaster area. And hopefully you can see well. I'm just going to dip the sponge a little bit. And yes, it does work like a very good sponge. And begin very gently on that foot. And oh yes, it looks like it is coming off easily. So this won't be too much of a problem. There we go, and I have a little bit of staining, it looks like. little more. And as you can see, it does take it off pretty good. So let's get this little mark over here. Oh, that was a hair. There's a little bit up her legs. Looks like she had a little scraping as well with that one. But it's not bad enough to worry about. And yes, I am making a watery mess as I go. A little bit here on her knee. Slow you down a little bit, lady. The leg there. Looking pretty good. There's a little bit on her belly. And I do believe I'm going to make an attempt at that belly button. So here goes. Cross your fingers, y'all. Oh, I'm seeing some sort of good result here. Looks like I'm getting a little bit of a result. I don't know that it's all going to come off there, just because it is down inside of her belly button. But if I can get most of it, I'm not going to be too heartbroken about that. Oh, looks like some of that's coming off anyway, so good, good, good. Oh. Here. Not looking too bad. Let's see, it did take that off her belly button. And, oop, evidently we are water soluble. Hooray, but I better start cleaning some stuff up a little bit here. Really do not want this to just spread around. Wipe down some of the area that I've cleaned already. And don't be afraid to clean your dolls. Just be reasonable about how you start out cleaning them. Go with the least harmful, least chemical cleaning first. See if that will work for you. If it does, it's going to save you a lot of trouble. And it's also going to keep you from having a problem with the chemicals potentially damaging the resin. These dolls are not all made of the same resin. There are different types. I'm afraid I don't really know enough to tell you about the types of resins they use here. What I use in the jewelry is very different, and if I'd gotten what I use in the jewelry wet like this, it would be gone. Take your hiney in there, hun. Let's see what we got going on to the back. Right, there's a little bit on those legs. Let's lay her down there. Being a very good patient. She hasn't kicked me once. That came off well. Got a little bruise there on her hip. A blue marker. Let me flip things at you there. Alright, that came off well. A little bit on her legs here. Beautiful. A little bit there. If you've never used a magic eraser before, you notice that it's starting to disintegrate. That is correct. That's what they're supposed to do. And when it gets to the point where it's just too gross and too gone to use, you used it to its max. I think we're going to go ahead and tackle this butterfly. Because as it stands right now, touching it is causing it to get on other things. So, and oh, look at that. Water marker. Fabulous. I do believe going to work out very nicely. If you're wondering what all these little hairs are, yeah, that's from some plushie work. I have a sheep. It's very cute, but he leaves fuzzy all over the place when I sew them. Alright, this is coming off much easier than I had expected, and this is a wonderful thing. You may retain a little bit of discoloration, looks like, but probably not a huge amount. Alright, that's pretty good. Alright, looking around. Okay, they did some faux piercings on her ears. Let's get those. Okay. That outside bit is coming off very well. Let me move the light a little bit here. There's some right here along this edge. Very good. Around to this other side. There's a rather large one in her ear here. And I just murdered the camera. Fortunately, it's used to it. I've had it a few years. For those who might wonder, no, I don't have a way to edit. So yeah, that's staying in there. Okay, this one's a little harder. It's on the inside curve. Lots of sculpting right there. Wish this stuff came like a Q-tip. I'm hoping I'm not damaging her eyebrows. I would like to keep those, but I am going to be doing some face work on her later. Oops, I'm in the way. Probably been in the way most of the way, though, haven't I? Okay, that's not going to come completely clean just at this moment. So we'll move on to the next thing here. Get the major stuff, like that. Thankfully, that comes off real easy. She really did not need pasties. Pretty sure I don't have any character spots for a stripper, so she doesn't really need them. She's going to have some lovely clothes like everyone else gets. one shoulder here. Okay, got a little one on her nose. Looks like she had a little bit of a nose piercing there. I think he was quite punk. I was auditioning for a spot in the Poison Elves comic. There we go. A bit there. Alright, this is going to be fun. I'm going to try and get that out of there without damaging this eyebrow work. But I am darn certain I'm not going to be able to match that. But, as I said before, we're going to be doing some face work anyway. Not bad. Let's take it from the other side now. Very carefully. Light again. Not bad. I don't think I'm going to fiddle with that too awful much. Do not want to risk that. Okay, let's do once over here. See if there's any other spots that need cleaned. Right there. A little schmutz on the cheek. A little white on the neck here. I think maybe this doll is clean. Alright, so there we have it. It's a simple cleaning. Got lucky there. The patience has come through well. Set her up here. She does not sit up well. She is definitely in need of a stringing, and that will be coming next. As well as a little bit of a face up, because as you can see, she has a little bit of light work here. Some eyelashes and eyebrows, but that's all she has. I don't think for this doll I'm going to do any body blushing. I kind of prefer her without. And then next will come some clothes. Alright, so thank you all for watching, and if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Do know it takes a minute for me to answer because I'm not online very much. Thank you.